I'm hearing we've got a special message for our very own Mike Grella. Let's listen.
Oh, yuck. Puh. The only thing worse than American coffee is having to listen to Grella constantly disrespect the Socceroos. You think we're going to be a layup? Well, we're going to swat that layup, because there's one thing you don't know about Australians. It's we do our best work when we are slept on. So let's make this official. If the US beat Australia, I'll wear a USA jersey and say you were right, we were a layup. But if Australia beat the US, you have to don a beautiful Socceroos jersey like this on CBS and apologise. And hey, think about it like this. You can be the second best Grella to ever wear a Socceroos jersey. That's pretty good.
That's accurate. Vince Grella was a baller. That's accurate. We played in the Premier League as well, Vince Grella as well. Listen, again, with this Australian thing, it's getting a little out of control. Okay.
Can I just say, though, you keep adding fuel to the fire.
I'm going to just say something. It made me actually go back and do more research, because I'm like, wait, and I love Australians. I'm like, oh, maybe they're right. I go look at their team. I don't recognize any players in the team. I'm not kidding, though, when I say this. It's like, what are they drinking over there? Because they got no shot of doing anything at the World Cup, right? And they're the weakest team in the group. And the U.S., although they've got their weaknesses and their deficiencies, you got like 6, 7 players, 8 players playing in the Champions League, playing in some of the top clubs in Europe. You go look at Australia.
So it should be a free bet for you. You got to take the bet or no?
I would take the bet all day.
How much money would you put on the US winning then? Out of your own money?
The US winning the game?
Against Australia. If you're so confident.
I don't know. Whatever. $1,000, couple $1,000. It doesn't matter to me. There's no shot Australia could compete with the US. So the only way they can play is in defense and try to keep 0-0, and that's the only way. But they don't have. There's levels. Like, I know about football, and it's like, anything can happen. Yeah, okay. But there's also levels of quality, and US has players that play week in and week out the highest levels of Europe, and Australia does not. And that's as simple as that.
Production is just wanting to confirm as well that you're going to wear the Australia jersey.
Would be my pleasure.
And you'll say it's a layup. Anything else? Anything else you want to raise the stakes for the bet on?
I think their best player is Irankunda. Irankunda. I mean, with all due respect, because I don't like to talk bad about players. I'm actually a fan of Irankunda. We cover the championship here at CBS. Irankunda.
So do you want to raise the stakes for the bet?
What, raise the stakes to what?
I don't know. Suggest something else if you think.
No, I'll take the bet from Adamo. Adamo's a great gentleman. I like Adamo a lot. We have a lot of mutual friends, actually.
I just feel like we could do something crazier. Don't you, Troy? If the jersey.
But also, I don't think it's on Grella to take more, because you've been called out and you go, okay, fair enough. No problem. We'll do it.
Also, everything's on the line in terms of pride. Yeah. Now, because they're totally bought into that they're going to beat the U.S., and we're totally bought in that we're going to beat them. So it's a little bit like the Duke-UNC rivalry. Like, Duke doesn't really know it exists, but the UNC, like, I can't wait for it all year. You know what I mean? So it's a big day for Australia, bigger than it is for the US.
Troy, do you feel as strongly as Grella does about how dominant you think the US is going to be against Australia?
No, but this is why he's my guy, because we are very similar. We just double down. We say what we say it with conviction. Look, it's going to be...
Apart from, by the way, when Mark Schwarzer was there and he said I was tired, I didn't know what I was saying. But anyway.
And I'll tell you, let's go into there. You want to go there? Let's go there.
Why?
Schwarzer is an unbelievable gentleman. Yeah. Great career, great professional, this and that. The other thing, supposed to have fun about it. I think he actually read it and took it to heart. I see him on podcasts. Beep, 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 beep.
Look what you said.
Take it easy. You guys are a layup in the group. I mean... Is he watching a different team, or what? And yeah, they qualify for each of the last World Cups, but for what? They get every World Cup they go to, they're going for a participation award, as the U.S. are. But again, this year, the U.S. have players that play in the Champions League at the highest level. They're going to be a host nation. They've beaten Australia in the friendlies before that. I think it's just going to be a long day for Australia football talk.
Why
strictly.
is somebody saying in my ear, is Grella going to retire from TV if the US lose to Australia?
Well,
we've all got kids to feed.
You want to go there? We don't have enough time to go there.
I didn't say that one.
But no,
just a suggestion.
I would say, I think I can understand why Australia feel that they can beat the US, and I can understand why the US are like, Australia can't beat us. I understand both sides of the argument. I'd expect both sides of the argument to feel that way. In my opinion, and in my bracket, I think both of them are playing for the third place. I know I'm in America, that might get me in trouble, especially with our bosses in the back. But I feel like Turkey are the team that they're number one, and then the rest, they could all beat each other on any given day. So it's going to be interesting.
I think also, big statement now going the other way and really talking about the game in general and the group in general. Time to grow up for the U.S. Time to grow up, because now it's been 15, maybe 10 years now where this cycle of like, you know, we started a few cycles ago, oh, the youth and this and that. And these guys are a bit pampered now, right? And then 100%. Pochettino's come in and he's exposed that a little bit. And who doesn't like this guy in this relationship and who needs time? Enough.
Yeah.
Enough of the games. It's time to be men. The old national teams, the national teams of old, 2002, even before that, went to the game and played. And you knew when you played against the United States of America, you were going to have a difficult game. Maybe not the most quality. Now we've got a lot of quality. Yeah. But we got a lot of chitty chat too. Time to get the job done.
Yeah, and also on that, what I was going to ask you, obviously, we're looking at the finishes, obviously, since 1994. Again,
not past the round of 16 most of the time, apart from the quarter-final that we saw. The measuring stick, by the way, Troy, does seem to be the round of 16. Is that the true measuring stick for you? If they advance, that's a success. If they don't, that's a disappointment.
Again, I'm not fully up to date on once we get through the bracket and how it falls if they was to finish first, second or third. Obviously, there's a little bit of luck that comes into that as well. But I think if the US got to the quarterfinals this year, in my opinion, that'd be an unbelievable achievement, because I think there's a lot of quality in the teams. You look, again, France, Spain, England, Portugal, Argentina, Holland. There's 6 already. And then obviously you can start to go into other teams where I think the US kind of fall in that same bracket. But for me, to Grella's point, I think it's a great point, because they do need to grow up. They do play, a lot of these players do play for big teams in Champions League nights. They've also got a top-class manager as well. Just on that, if it does go wrong, and let's say they, for whatever reason, they didn't qualify, where's the rebuild? Where's the start? Like, what? I just feel like they have to do well this year, because if not, all the excuses are gone. Does that make sense?
There's one element that they never fixed and they never addressed, and that's one of being called up based on merit. And I think that's the most important thing in life, is like, if you deserve something, if people are working hard, they should be rewarded. And if people are not working as hard, they're going through a slump, maybe like you've got to move on, because you've got to set a precedent in a group that say, when you get called to the United States national team and you put the badge on, it has to mean something. It has to be really important. And we still see a little bit now call-ups because guys play in certain spots or they have certain relationships. And I think if moving forward, the rebuild of the way would be, hey,
by the way,
whoever performs plays, whoever doesn't is out.
Do you think anyone on this team got called up by merit?
By merit?
Yeah.
Most of the players, But then there's a few additions where, like, you think, okay, like Giorena, for example, unbelievable talent. Maybe one of the most talented players in the team, but what's he done in the last 2 or 3 years to merit?
That's what I meant, not by,
not by merit.
Not by merit.
And you want to bring quality, and you want to bring those guys. And sometimes, I would even argue, you have to bring those type of guys as well. But also, you have to set a precedent to say, doesn't matter where you play, and it doesn't matter who you are. If you haven't performed in the last year and a half, you're not in the team. And once the top national teams have that, right? Cole Palmer's not going to the national team because Phil Foden's not going to the national team, not going to the World Cup, because he didn't perform. That's England now. That's the standard they've set. The U.S. doesn't have that. The U.S. is like, oh, well, he's the best player we've got, so we've got to bring him. And now all of a sudden they want time off, or they don't think they need to perform because they know it doesn't matter. I'll get another call up. Competition is healthy. Competition in every workplace is super healthy. Has to be paramount at the United States men's national team. So time to grow up. Time to get results. Time to stop talking. There's been a lot of talking from the U.S. fans, from the players themselves, from the management. Like, enough. Like, let's see it now. You're at home. You're in a group that's doable, right? Very doable. And we'll see, what happens. And we'll see. Because home could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, based on how they perceive it and based on how they sort of take on that challenge.